Bruce.
Well, what about Stewie?
You never ever want to go against the Aussie, do you? In the local crowd, we'll be right behind Stewie.
Here we go, Tamsin. So let's set that pace up. So Callum Davies is going to do the pace work here.
Yeah, hopefully go to 1,200 metres of the 3,000 and run about 3 minutes 05. He's just run the mile race. He's out there in front, so see how he's pulled up from the mile race, but you can see Stewart McSweyn's gone straight to the outside as he gets a little knock on his back from Lachlan Hurd, and he'll push his way up just to make sure that he stays out of trouble with this big field.
And now Quebec starts to chase, and Kipkurui and Kiprop there, see them from the back, so they have followed McSweyn in a way and want to get into that position. Stewie is always a little slow out of the blocks, so to speak, is he? And then he quickly gathers and always seems to put himself into a front-running position.
Well, I think he'd be a little bit frustrated with how last season went. It was no fault of his own. He wasn't feeling well and he wasn't himself, and so he missed a lot of those top-quality races that gets him into Stewie McSweyn's shape that we know that he's all capable of. He was 7th in the Olympic final back in Tokyo, where the King Island Primary School changed their recess to watch his prelims. He's such a superstar back there at home in Tasmania. He looks good here. He wasn't feeling well. Apparently, he was quite sick leading into the Mixed Relay World Cross Country Championships, where he got that bronze medal. But he's had another few days, good sleep, rest after that race, and hopefully he's up for a fast one.
And for those that were there and those that watched on television, it was such an undulating, difficult course.
Yep.
And Stewie never looked in rhythm, did he? I mean, he didn't run badly, but he didn't sparkle. He never looked in rhythm, and at one stage he sort of stumbled a bit, and you never felt like he was comfortable in the ground.
Well, it's hard as a track athlete where you're used to the hard surface and able to use that gait, that natural gait and flowing running style that you get off the track. The cross-country course is so different. It's a great training run for them, though. Like, this is the start of the season for them. They've got big goals heading into the World Championships later in the year. So for him, a lot of this is just about training and getting himself into shape and getting the confidence back that he has had that makes us see him take it to world-class athletes like Ingebrigtsen when he's overseas in Diamond League races.
Just noticed too that Stewart McSweyn, in a nod to Maurie Plant's got the old-school Melbourne Track Club singlet on. Back from before the Sydney Olympics, that is the singlet of the Melbourne Track Club. It's an old one. There's not too many that are still in existence, but Stewie's found one in the bottom drawer, and he's wearing it for Maurie tonight.
It wouldn't have been one that Maurie wore.
No, you'd need to stitch 6 or 7 of them together.
Interestingly, Bruce, in third is Dan Cabet, the 19-year-old who led most of that cross-country race. He's going to college in the USA at Gosha College, and he chose there because they have a phenomenal nursing program. That's the athlete in third there. He's studying to be a nurse as well as being a top-quality athlete.
That's a Tamsin tail. 2:32 through the first K here, so the pace is good. Davies has done a great job. He's already been out there in the mile tonight. You talked about that. We know what a tough little rooster he is, isn't he? And he looks at his watch, and Stewie looks comfortable. Kipkurui behind him, and then Cabet. So Kipkurui in third place there, Cabet in fourth place, and then a big gap.
Yep.
Archie Noakes is 2 from the back, 3 from the back, the young Australian who did so well in Bathurst.
Yeah, the steeplechase, the 18-year-old who trains with Charlotte Wilson alongside Liam Adams, our marathoner, who took it to the Commonwealth Games nations in that marathon last year. But you can see Kipkurui here, the 18-year-old who was 6th in the African Championships, won the under-20 race. He's wearing the orange singlet. He is now trying to work back onto Stewart McSweyn's shoulder. Now that Callum Davies has dropped out, the work's being done all by Stewie out there, and he's going to feel these athletes coming up to him.
And all the steeplechasers are behind him. They're all in a collective group, Clark and Buckingham, and also the Canadian John Gay. But we're looking at the front, so you can see the gap between the first 3 and then the group. It's about 30, 40 metres perhaps. It's a big gap at this stage in a race. There's McSweyn, just trying to relax, and relax he does. He's 3-4 metres in front of Kipkurui.
Look at the difference in the height of these athletes. Kipkurui, after he won that race, he spoke about the Kenyan training camp leading in, where they practiced the angles, because the angles on that cross-country course were really sharp. They're so meticulous with their training, the Kenyans, as we see. Kipkurui has gotten up to the shoulders of Stewart McSweyn, but how brilliant is Stewie? It's so great to see Stewie back here in Melbourne, attacking the pace like we're so used to him doing, and he's running well.
And he's getting a huge round of applause with 3 laps to go. So his Australian Oceania record at 7:28. Kipkurui hasn't run a lot of them at 7:52, so he's going to be well inside that, you'd think, tonight. And then a long, long gap to Quebec, and then a long, long gap then to a group of runners, including Matthew Clark, Ben Buckingham, John Gay, Isaac Hayne, all in that group, and also Kenneth Kiprop.
And Clark is leading that second big pack, and hoping that he can at least catch back on to Quebec, who's starting to falter, and he's in no man's land there in the middle.
Very different styles. I mean, Stewie's got a style all of his own, hasn't he? I mean, he's always one sort of step from falling over. I mean, it's the most... He's got to be the fastest runner in the world that's ever run like that, doesn't he?
He does have a little bit of an angle to his gait, but what he has is a big heart, so he's got such good aerobic strength, and he's still really nice off the ground. So if you watch his foot placement, he's nice, he's got nice foot strike. Yeah, you'd like to see him with a little bit more knee lift and leg stride length, but at least off the ground, he's still really nice, and he's still turning them over really well.
So 2 laps to go. Dave, you mentioned the singlet, the Melbourne Track Club. This is shades of the old stuff, isn't it? Kenya versus Australia?
Well, we used to market the meets here in the 90s with the sign that just said 2 things, 3 things in fact. The Kenyans are coming. It didn't matter who they were, we knew if they were on the start line, and we had some greats. Moses Kipkurui, of course, Daniel Coleman, and now this youngster, Ishmael Kipkurui, we love him, and Stewie's trying his best to shake him off.
He's right there though, isn't he? Stewart McSweyn's going a little bit to the outside of the lane, seeing if he can entice Kipkurui to come through. Stewie is definitely doing all the work out there. Kipkurui does not look like he wants to go to the front at all yet. In the cross-country race, he went with about 600 metres to go with that fast finish.
And Ben Buckingham's made a move in 4th place. So Buckingham's got away from the mob, so to speak. So he's trying to chase down that 3rd place getter in Dan Quebec. So watch for that as well, with 1 lap to go. So for the first time, Kipkurui takes the lead. And now for Stewie, it's going to be really interesting. Does he hang on here with a lap to go? A gap to Quebec and then Buckingham. 1 lap out. It's seemingly quick. McSweyn hasn't gone away at all. He looks to be comfortable, and now Kipkurui's exposed himself, so to speak.
And it's really hard. You can see here just how Stewie's having to chop his stride and go a little bit wider here, because Kipkurui is like, he cut in really early. Stewie's having to cut that stride length down. It's hurting both the athletes now. Who's the toughest?
So the gap's a metre. It's now 2 metres. It's 2, almost 3. McSweyn's losing that contact, and Kipkurui's got away here. He's just 18 years of age, and like we saw in the women's race tonight, these remarkable under-20 World Cross Country champions have come to the Maurie Plant meet and have really delivered. So I reckon another star is born. How many stars could be born on one night? Surely more than one. Well, we've got a couple. And look how fast he's going to be. His best time is 7:52. He's taken about 11 seconds off that. McSweyn's had a terrific run. Quebec gets through for 3rd. Buckingham has finished oh so well in 4th placing. That's a great run. And then they come in behind him. Oakley gets in next, and then behind him would have been Kiprop. Some good running, Clark as well. Another great race, Tamsin.
That was super impressive. And Kipkurui, 18 years of age, stayed relaxed there behind Stewie, and then when he needed to, he just opened up those stride length, and he was really relaxed as he ran past Stewie. Stewie will be happy with that, though. It's just nice. Yeah, it's so nice seeing him back out there and running really well. He's so tough, Stewie. He's happy to attack races and push the pace to make sure that there is a decent pace. Look at Kipkurui just looking across. He's so relaxed in his shoulders and his face. Even when he decides to make his move, he makes it without putting any tension or stress through his body. He just eases past Stewie, and then just look at this finishing technique. It's beautiful.
So not only a great runner, 18 years of age, a great tactician. I mean, he ran that perfectly, Kipkurui, didn't he?
He did.
He used McSweyn perfectly. And Stewie, as you said, has had a really strong run tonight.
Yeah, I think